There are rumors out there about the Nintendo Switch 2. Ah, shocker! Who would have thought? Rumors about a Nintendo console that hasn't been released yet. Yeah, that's right. There's been a big internet stir in the past few days about the possible specs and information about the Switch 2. And it's not going to be called the Switch 2, but that's what I'm just going to use to make it simple for this video. You have to take everything with a grain of salt, of course. None of this has been verifiable. We don't have any official statements from Nintendo yet. Some people are saying it's pretty credible, but until I actually hear from the words of Nintendo's mouth, I'm just going to kind of tread lightly on it. But to be quite honest, guys, I don't get the hype. Nintendo is great for games. I will not lie. As shady as the company is, as terrible as it is that they don't do discount prices on games, and they're pretty stingy with copyright and content on YouTube, their games are good. Their IP is good, and that's what makes them such a strong company. It's not their consoles. Their consoles is not what brings them the money. It never has, for the most part. I mean, Super Nintendo was pretty crazy, but once we got into like the GameCube era, like they knew that they were known for name alone. They weren't really known for their consoles that they were producing. It was for their games. You just couldn't play specific games unless you had the console. And in hindsight, that's kind of stupid, but it sells really well. You know, I owned quite a few Nintendo consoles just so I could play games. Nintendo Wii, I like the concept of it like many people. I was sold on the movement and stuff like that, but I mostly got it to play Smash Brawl because I heard it was coming to that, and I really liked Melee when I was a kid. That's just a testament to the quality of Nintendo's video games and to the loyalty of their consumers and fan bases. If you are a Zelda fan, you might get the new console just for Breath of the Wild 3 or whatever they're going to call it. If you are a Mario fan, that's a little bit more like variety, but yeah, you're going to get a lot more games than a Zelda fan will, but you get the next console to play Mario. It's stuff like that where you're pulling in a bunch of different crowds all for the same thing, and then you have family-friendly games, and it's a very family-friendly type of company, which attracts a more normie, I hate to say that word, but normie type of audience that isn't like fully into gaming culture, but is content with, you know, the bare minimum. Because that's what Nintendo consoles are. They are the bare minimum. They've never claimed to be more than, but at the same time, a lot of the fan base is blindsided and treat these consoles as if they're like the best thing ever. I can't wrap my head around it. Like, I'm not excited for the Switch 2. Like I said, I need a new Switch, so it would make sense for me to get it, and I will get it begrudgingly because my current Switch is literally a potato at this point. However, I'm not standing in the line and waiting for, you know, the day one release like I did for the first Switch. The first Switch was interesting because although it wasn't as powerful, it was a new concept of being able to play portable and then go switch over and put it onto a TV that had not been done before. And now this new iteration is kind of just going to be like an updated version of a Switch. It's basically, from my understanding, it's just going to have a little bit better specs and stuff like that, but it's not innovative enough to make it next level. And that got me thinking, like, that's kind of like what it was from the GameCube to the Wii. The GameCube wasn't anything special. It just had some really good games on it. And then the Wii was selling on its new innovation of motion controls and movement, which they did terribly and it did not work out well at all, but they at least tried it. So it was that generational jump that they had. And then you wait a while, you get like a bunch of portable stuff, DS, 3DS, DS Lite was before the 3DS, I don't know why I put it in that order. The Wii U, which sold terribly because it didn't innovate enough, but then you have the Switch. It was kind of like the Wii U was kind of like the prototypes into the Switch, and then the Switch is what got everyone interested, myself included, because of this new concept. So now we're kind of just waiting till the next step. Will Nintendo eventually go into VR? I definitely think so, but I think it's once technology has advanced to the point where VR is actually affordable for, you know, an everyday kind of family, where it's more in that like $500 price range. How much does a VR headset go for right now? Oh, they're fairly cheap in comparison to consoles. Huh. So they're going to have to do, Nintendo's going to have to do something more than VR. They're going to have to elevate VR a little bit then, I guess, to get people to invest in it. But what I'm saying is there isn't a big enough switch. Get it? Switch from Switch 1 to Switch 2. Allegedly. We don't really know what's officially going to be released. Maybe it's completely different than what people are rumoring it to be, but I doubt it. I really think this is basically just going to be an updated version of the first Switch. And the only thing I can truly say that I'm excited for is hopefully no Joy-Con drift. Hopefully that they will just fix that and we won't have those issues. A little bit stronger battery life. Maybe a better screen. A little bit more graphic capability. Can we get 1080? Can we get 1080p? I really don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And then I'm excited for the games, but that has no relevancy to the Switch 2. So that should be interesting. I heard that, and if this is true, then it's going to be interesting that there'll be two models: the digital only and the like the cartridge version, which means that I have to pay 50 extra bucks because half of my Switch collection of games are physical copies. So, I mean, 50 bucks isn't going to break the bank, but that is a little bit unfortunate. And I think that leads into the next future part of gaming, which is a completely different category for a different video, but we're definitely moving away from physical media altogether. So, I think Switch 2, that might be it. The Switch 2 might be the last console that allows physical media. I think the boost into the next generation of gaming, which isn't going to come out for the next few years, is going to be digital only. I think that's where we're headed. And like I said, that's a topic for a different video. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for the Switch 2? I am not. I'm more excited for what games we're going to get, if we're going to get any that are worthwhile. The ones that I want are the most stereotypical ones, but that's because the IP and the games are so beloved. I want a new Smash Bros. Game. I want to see what that looks like, especially since Sakurai has retired. So is it a new, director and all that kind of stuff. I want Mario Odyssey 2. I know a lot of people want Mario Galaxy 3, but I loved Mario Odyssey, so I would prefer Odyssey 2 over Galaxy 3, but I get it if we get Galaxy 3 first. A new Mario Kart. I know we just got all these booster pack DLC shenanigans for a game that's actually a few years old now, but a whole new Mario Kart with different mechanics would be nice. Let me know down in the comments below what games you want to see. That's about it. Bye.